Hello everyone, myself Ishan Upadhyay and I welcome you all on behalf of Vidyalankar. Automobile engineering is a subject in third year diploma in mechanical engineering. Automobile engineering deals with the study of designing, manufacturing and operation of automobile. Automobile engineering includes mechanical, electrical, electronics, software and some safety elements. So in power engineering we have already studied that how in engine chemical energy of a fuel is converted into the mechanical work. Today in automobile engineering let us discuss that how this mechanical power available at the engine is transmitted from engine to the wheels so that car can propel. For that let us start with a transmission system. Now transmission system, as you can see, it mainly consists of engine, clutch, gearbox, propeller shaft, differential, rear axle and wheel. So first part is engine. Let us start with engine. So engine is a source of a power for automobile and here chemical energy of fuel is converted into the mechanical power. Based on the type of the fuel used, it can be diesel engine or petrol engine. In market few more engines are available, but from subject point of view we have restricted it to diesel and petrol engine only. From there power is transmitted to the clutch. Now clutch is located between engine and a gearbox. Function of a clutch is to engage or disengage the engine from the transmission system. There are three types of clutch as you can see. To understand how clutch works, let us start with a simple diagram. Here it consists of input shaft, then driver plate, driven plate and output shaft. Input shaft is a shaft which is coming from engine and at a moment when we will start on the engine, that shaft will start rotating. Now a spring is provided. This spring will provide a constant force to the driven plate and driver plate will be unite together. The friction linings are provided at the face of the driven and the driver plate. Because of that, when the driver plate will rotate, driven plate will also rotate and power will be transmitted from engine to the transmission system. Now when we want to disengage this clutch, then we'll provide a force on the clutch pedal. This will disengage the driven plate from the driver plate. When disc will get disengaged, even though the driver plate is rotating, driven plate will not rotate. It is similar to the switch of the electrical system. When we'll switch on, power will be transmitted. When we'll switch off, it's like a disengage where power will not be transmitted even though the engine is rotating. Now there are three conditions where clutch is needed to be disengaged, and that are while starting the car, second while changing the gear, and third while stopping the car. From the clutch, when it's in engaged position, power will be transmitted to the gearbox. Now gearbox is located between clutch and a propeller shaft, and the function of a gearbox is to vary the torque and hence speed according to the driver's need. There are four types of gearbox: sliding mesh, constant mesh, synchro mesh and epicyclic gearbox. We have taken example of a simplest, that is sliding mesh gearbox. Now here you can see there are three shafts. First is an input shaft, that is a shaft coming from the clutch. Next is a lay shaft and third is a output shaft, that is also called as a main shaft, which is connected to the propeller shaft. Now when the clutch is in engaged position, gear A will rotate gear B, hence lay shaft will also rotate. By making engagement of the various gears from the output shaft to the lay shaft, we can attain various front torque as well as various reverse torque. There are 3 to 5 various forward torque and there is one reverse torque. From here, power will be transmitted to the propeller shaft. Propeller shaft is located between the gearbox and the differential, and the function of a propeller shaft is to transmit the power from gearbox to the differential. Now main components of the propeller shaft are one shaft itself. In general we also call it as a propeller shaft, universal joint and a sliding joint. So here you can see diagram of a propeller shaft. A propeller shaft is an inclined shaft and on both the ends universal joints are provided. One universal joint is used to connect gearbox to the propeller shaft and another universal joint is used to connect propeller shaft to the differential. Now one end of the propeller shaft is connected to the gearbox which is mounted on the chassis which is fixed, while the other end of the propeller shaft is connected to the differential which is mounted on the spring. So actually speaking, propeller shaft has to transmit a power between two points which are varying in horizontal and vertical distance. So to overcome this, a slip joint is provided which will slip in and slip out to compensate for the change in length. From propeller shaft, power is transmitted to the differential. Differential is located between the propeller shaft and the rear axle. When car takes a turn, inner wheel has to travel a smaller distance while the outer wheel has to travel a larger distance. But both the wheels are mounted on a one rigid body. Hence, inner wheel has to be rotated slowly while the outer wheels has to be rotated at a faster rate. This is achieved with the help of the differential. From differential, power is transmitted at a 90 degree to both the rear axle. Now rear axle is made up in a two half. One half of the rear axle is connected from differential to the left wheel and another half of the rear axle is connected from differential to the right wheel. So rear axle is located between the differential and the wheel, and the function of the rear axle is to transmit the power from differential to the wheels, and finally this power is transmitted to the wheel so that car can propel. So this is how available power at the engine is transmitted through the various system to the wheels so that car can propel in a forward direction. I hope you have enjoyed this transmission system of a forward engine rear wheel drive. If you have liked this session, you can visit to our nearest Vidyalankar branch. Thank you.